Hello and welcome to Auto Today. My name is Dipayan and you're joining us in Bangalore for the review of this. Now this is the facelift of the second generation of the Kia Carnival. Although we missed out on the second generation in India, we do have the facelift now. We're going to tell you a whole lot about this new car from the perspective of the inside. But before we get there, let me take you around the outside and tell you a little bit about the design elements that make it special and of course the dimension changes in this new generation. Now, of course, the major changes to design start at the front with this stubbier nose with slightly less overhangs. You get the Kia's signature tiger nose grille at the center that sits over a nice black and chrome grille. And of course, there is the Starlight LED that runs along the length of the bonnet and looks really cool. As do the new Ice Cube design for the LEDs that are smart LED projectors, and you get fog lamps mounted in the bottom of the bumper with this really cool looking matte chrome garnish. Now move to the side profile of the new generation of the Kia Carnival and you get a sense of that new silhouette of the new generation of the Carnival. Of course, this is in its limousine. It is 40 millimeters longer, 10 millimeters taller and 20 millimeters wider. And what's more is that at 3090 millimeters, you get a 30 millimeter longer wheelbase, which means that there is more space on the inside. There are also some standout elements like the body color door handles with chrome garnishes that obviously operate the electrically operated second row of doors. And of course, you get the electrically folding ORVMs and a new design for the 18-inch alloy wheels. All in all, I think in profile, the Kia Carnival limousine looks quite set apart from the rest. Let's step to the back and let me tell you about the design details that set the limousine apart from the Carnival that we knew before this. Now, the rear section of the Kia Carnival limousine is still very similar to the outgoing model and the generation that we know, but there are some key changes that set it apart. Of course, there is now an LED tail light that runs across the length of the tailgate. There are the star map LEDs, which is Kia's new flagship style LEDs. You also get a rear fog lamp inset in the bumper and the matte chrome garnishes continue over here. But one really cool element that we thought is the rear wiper that is concealed under the spoiler. But of course, the Carnival is a car that is best enjoyed from the inside. So let's hop on the inside and tell you exactly how much has changed. But it's not just about driving the Carnival, it's about the second row of seats, and for that we need a boss. So again, you've spent a lot of time in the previous Carnival. You've driven it to Calcutta, you've driven it to Bombay. So you have the best perspective when it comes to this new generation and how it stacks up against the old one and how it stacks up in the market. So let's hear what you think.
Although all that time I've sat behind the steering wheel and not so much at the rear, but I have a fairly good idea of how the rear was. So I have to say the Carnival has the best or probably one of the best middle row seats in the country in any car available, right? We are not talking about something like a 2.5 crore car, but in a similar price range. The things that are going for it are, of course, the enormous amount of space, and that space can also be utilized. You remember some of the cars have huge legroom, but what do you do with it? I mean, there's no way to use it. In this one, at least, you can move the seat around and you can put it to a very comfortable reclining position.
And the number of ways that it can adjust is just...
Yeah, also because if there's somebody seated at the back, so then you can't take the second row seat right to the back. But if there's nobody at the back, then you can slide it to the center and take it back. But also what has now happened is that all these controls in the new Carnival are electric. Earlier, you had to do everything manually, whether it was raising the undercuff support or it was reclining the seat. But now everything is electric except for sliding the seat towards the center and taking it right back, which I'm going to do from here with the lever, and here it's the center. So now the rear wheel arch, and all the things that are built on top of it are not obstructing the seat. So what we can do is we can push the seat to the center and then slide it right back, and
That's a lot of legroom.
that's a huge amount of legroom. But also that's not all. Then you can recline the seat further, and you can also raise the
Ottoman style leg rest.
leg rests. So it's a really comfortable place to be. And that's all from me, I guess, except that now this also gives me access to charging. I mean, there are numerous charging
one
ports
right
all
behind
around. There's a cup holder here, there's a cup holder in front in case somebody at the back is using it. And it's a nice airy cabin, which gives you a really comfortable feeling.
So you're the boss at Auto Today. Do you feel like it?
No, I feel like the boss when I'm behind the steering wheel. Yeah, but jokes apart, yeah, I think this should satisfy anybody who's looking for a really comfortable ride, whether to office and back or for their intercity commutes.
Also, that third row, I think Kia has been so smart with the way that they've
Utilized it, right?
made that
yeah.
layout, and the way that it folds back in and creates that cavernous boot. I mean, 2,900 liters without folding the second row is crazy.
Yeah, so that cavernous boot, in fact, when I've been using the Carnival in its previous generation, the layout was the same at the back. Now maybe it's slightly longer, so there'll be a little more space all around. But with the 2 to 4 and 3, right? So 7 people on board, you still have a lot of luggage space. And if you fold the third row, then you probably have even more. But even with the third row up, you can really load the car.
Now, another thing I really wanted to talk about is the way this new Carnival drives. Now, I haven't driven the one before this, but this one has an aluminium block. It makes about 181 horsepower and 441 Nm of torque. And this gearbox is great too, and it's just so easy to drive for a 5.1 meter car. You spent some time in it, driving it earlier today. What do you think?
So it's very sprightly, very maneuverable. Also, it is very comfortable to drive. So, I mean, the 8-speed gearbox, it may not be the quickest shifting gearbox, but it's very smooth. You don't feel any jerks. It is seamless. And I think that's what's required of the Carnival. The engine, I think, has become smoother, and maybe they've also added some padding to keep out the noise and vibration. So overall, I think the experience has been enhanced, and the interiors, of course, are a huge jump ahead.
And it's not just that second row, it's the front row when, as you said, you feel like the boss when you're driving. I mean, this is a car that I would be happy to drive every day. I've got ventilated, heated and cooled seats. In front, I've got this massive 12.3-inch infotainment, which is integrated absolutely beautifully. I think there's just so much to love, whether you're sitting at the back or you're sitting in the front. Not even mentioning the Bose speakers, which are absolutely immersive, because this time you get surround sound with Bose premium sound sense.
Yeah, so I would have said that yes, it's great to drive, but the greatest joy of being in this car is being in the second row of seats, these captain seats. But what is missing though is the rear seat entertainment that the previous generation top of the line Carnival had. And that is missing, but perhaps it can be an aftermarket fit.
Thank you so much for tuning in to our video review of the brand new Kia Carnival limousine. If you liked this video and you found it informative, don't forget to smash that like button. And if you haven't subscribed to the Auto Today channel yet, it's your chance to do that now. It means so much to us and our growth. Now, as for this car, this one will make it to India in one single variant, that is the Limousine Plus, which is priced at 63.9 lakh rupees. Now, here's the thing. Now, that price puts it in the middle of its two biggest rivals. That is the Innova Hycross and, of course, the Toyota Velfire, which are both priced at about 30 lakhs on either side of this car. And when you consider that, and you consider all the features that you get inside, in fact, the things that Yogen spoke about from the second row of seats, all of that comes together to give you a really inclusive and extensive package that is very, very hard to look away from. Now, we do feel like the price, if it had been slightly less with a few features missing, it would have been all that more competitive. But as it stands in this single variant, it feels like Kia knows exactly what they're looking for from their customer and what their customer expects from this car. And which is why we think it's going to be an astounding success. And that can be told by the fact that it already has 3,000 bookings, something that will take Kia about 9 months to fulfill. So if you want your Carnival, you're probably going to have to wait more than 9 months. Thank you so much for watching. This is Didi signing off.